Maybe you can see a little bit on. I think. Yes. The night also. Right. Make. I made you work. Don't close that. Yeah, I made you work. Hey, I'm already off already. I made you. Okay. No, no. Yes, take it. Four, no, sorry, 4K camera. Keep picture. Okay. अब 5 मिनट देना लोग का बार बार आएंगे ना वे कैन प्रार्थना so they are good. Take it.
Prabhu, it should be like why? Sorry, Mataji, you need to stand up for a while. I will go. Why?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Vishnu Padaya, Vishnu Pasai, Swami, Namaste, Saraswati, Lord of Mary Jesus, and Panchapatru Vishnu, Hare Krishna. I've been to Manor, 3 days giving classes. Soho Street, how many classes? Soho Street, 2 classes, 3 classes. So this is my first time here ever on this place. I think you're most enthusiastic devotees here. So I only have this trip one opportunity to speak. They said it's given 4 classes in the Manor, but here this will be my only class. And I was thinking, of course, most of you will know I traveled with Srila Prabhupada 50 years ago, 52 years ago, and for 2.5 years. And I went around the world 4 times. Prabhupada went around the world 15 times. This trip my wife and I have taken, it began on May 7th. So we've already been traveling today, 2 months today. 2 months today traveling. And we still have 3 more weeks. When Prabhupada traveled back at that time, he was 75, 76, 77 years old. So I just turned 74 years old. And in the 2 months we've been traveling, I'm seeing how difficult it is. Every week, 1 week, different place, every week, different place. Sometimes 2 days, 3 days, different place. Srila Prabhupada did it for 10 years, not 2 months. As I'm sure many of you are all disciples of Jayapataka Maharaj, aspiring disciples of Jayapataka Maharaj, other ones of my god brothers, they all let you know Srila Prabhupada not an ordinary person. And I can tell you, traveling for 10 years, from the time you're over 70, from 70 to 80 years old, no ordinary person can do it, even if they don't do anything. He not only traveled, he wrote his books, over 60 books, initiated over 5,000 devotees personally. He established 108 temples. All in that time, 10 years. Even materially, people will say, not possible. Prabhupada said, impossible word in a fool's dictionary. He made impossible possible. I was thinking in the short time I have what to say. So I was going to tell you of one trip Srila Prabhupada made around the world in 2 months. We can put there. Again, just like we're going around the world in 80 days. He went around the world this one trip, 1975, in 2 months. He started out, of course, India, Mumbai, Juhu, temple in Juhu. And he ended 2 months later in Mayapur, for Purnima festival. So when he left India, first place he went was Hong Kong, spent a few days there. Then he went to Japan. He spent a few days in Japan. Then he went to Hawaii. Hawaii is the first place they had Panchatattva deities. First place outside of India, where he installed those deities in 1972. Rishi Panchatattva deities, Ki Jai. And he stayed there. again, just for a few days. Then from Hawaii, he started to places. He went for second time Mexico City. There was a temple. There they already had Radha Krishna deities in the temple. They were also installed a few years earlier by Srila Prabhupada, Mexico City. And there were hundreds of devotees. So imagine Srila Prabhupada, 10 years after he began ISKCON Society, 9 years since the incorporation of ISKCON. He goes to Mexico City and the room is filled, just like here, room is filled, over 100 devotees. All local devotees, all Mexican boys, young girls, young boys, and their parents. This was the first time you saw parents joining. Mexicans, they're very pious people, very so many Christian people, but very pious. I joined, my mother don't join, nothing, father don't join, none of us, our parents join. But here in Mexico City, families were joining, just like here. You'll see your devotee or mother somewhere, and everyone had mother, children, everyone joins together in the course of time. So this was something different. So Prabhupada stayed there for 1 week. He arrived at the airport. He was picked up by one sannyasi devotee. He was GBC of there, South America and Mexico. He could speak Spanish. He was American, but very, very good, very intelligent, good at learning languages. He could speak different languages. And he was translating Srila Prabhupada's lectures into Spanish because they didn't speak English there. Anyway, when they picked Srila Prabhupada up at the airport, they made a special arrangement. They had a police escort. He didn't have to go through customs and immigration. He picked them right up. Police escort and fancy limousines. Srila Prabhupada and I are in the limousine, along with this sannyasi, GBC. And it takes about a half hour to get to the temple. And the whole ride to the temple, he's telling Srila Prabhupada about the books in Spanish. The devotees are distributing the books. They have Spanish PPT. Prabhupada was very quiet. Half an hour. You would think sometimes he would say, "Oh, that's very nice. This is wonderful." He just sat in the car. And I thought that was curious. That was interesting. And he didn't say, "This is wonderful, wonderful." So then we get to the temple. As soon as Prabhupada gets to the temple, what does he do? He takes darshan. Radha Krishna, Sri Sri Gaurnitai. And then he goes up to his room. So it's late in the morning. And he tells me, "Give me Raj Bhog for lunch today." He only did that a few times. I cooked lunch for him every day in his cooker. His cooker, Prabhupada had his cooker. He would make chapatis in the cooker, rice, dal. He would steam sabjis in the cooker and then make a chance. Put a few different vegetables in it, make another chance, put a few vegetables in it, like that. But he said, "Today I'll have Raj Bhog." Yes. So then I give him a massage. He bathes, dresses, says Gayatri Mantra, noontime Gayatri Mantra. And then he's ready for lunch. So I bring him the deity's plates. Nice silver plates. Everywhere deities have silver plates. So I bring him the plates. And he sits down and takes a spoonful of dal. He says, "This dal tastes like mud." Then he takes the puri. No puri. Puffed up. Must puff up. Chapati must puff up. Otherwise it's not cooked. not cooked properly. Right, Mataji? Puffed up. We're humble, not puffed up. Chapatis puff up. Puri puffed up. He breaks the puri. He says it's no good. Everything no good. This happened 3 times with me. He would say, give me Rajbhog for lunch. 3 times in 2.5 years, not often. But every time he did it, he didn't like what was being cooked. He didn't say to me, but I always imagined, I always figured when he greeted the deities, when he offered obeisance to the great deities, he stood up. They told him, these devotees, whatever they're cooking, I don't like. So then Prabhupada would tell them, this is terrible. He would go into the kitchen, then he would go into the kitchen. This is not clean, kitchen's not clean, this isn't right, this isn't right. So this was Srila Prabhupada. He would install these deities. He had responsibility. When he installed Sri Radharasa Bahari in Juhu, we said, he put them in a little room. As big, not as big as the kitchen here. He put them in this little room. He said, you please stay here, I'll build you a beautiful temple. Took 4 more years, 7 more years it took. He built a beautiful temple. Promise. He felt responsible. He installed Krishna, Radha Krishna, Gaurnitai, Jagannath. He installed these deities. It's Krishna. So that was Mexico City. When we left there, he stayed there for a week. He would give class, Bhagavatam class every morning. Maharaj would translate, speak a line, 2 lines. Maharaj would translate. So Prabhupada was telling all these devotees, as he did so many places, his lecture, his body, your spirit, soul, servant of Krishna. Our duty is to serve Krishna. All like the other day, they had me speak from Chaitanya Charitamrita all about Srimati Radharani and her relationship with Krishna. The big flowers. Krishna is charging her to go into the boat. Krishna is looking at Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani looking at Krishna. I said, what can I say? You look at his lectures, Radhastami. What does he talk about? You're not this body, pure spirit, soul, servant of Krishna, serve Krishna. Anyway, we talked about Bhakti Vriksha. Snani Yacha. Snani Yacha. So I talked about Prabhupada being here about the Yacha. So at the end of the lecture, that thing is prepared that gave Krishna. But the body is slowly for with joy. she's coming to the temple. She's hearing Prabhupada. She raised her hand. She said, Prabhupada, what if we can't remember Krishna at the time of death, but we remember you? Prabhupada smiled. He said, that's all right. That was his only business. You can't separate. You can't think of Prabhupada and not think of Krishna. Huh? You can't think of Krishna without thinking of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada wrote one of his disciples once. They were concerned. I can't remember Krishna. I have no love for Krishna. Prabhupada said, I love Krishna. You love me. So you love Krishna. See, this is our business. Develop love for Srila Prabhupada. Very, very close. Right? Krishna, not so easy. Srila Prabhupada, not very difficult. He's given us everything. Everything comes from him. So then we left Mexico City and we're going to Caracas, Venezuela, South America. So on Mataji, she made muy, puffed rice and peanuts, huh? Little John's, turmeric, and she put it in a little aluminum foil, and in a paper bag, and she handed it to me, Prabhupada served it. So we go to the airport, you check in, you get on the airplane. Prabhupada very, very regulated. So you get on the airplane, always the same. You go, everyone walking, you get in the seat. Where did Prabhupada sit? Which seat? Window seat, yes. Always sat at the window seat.
Coach.
In coach, not first class, coach. He said, why first class? We don't drink their drinks. We don't eat their food. And he was not 2 meters tall. Prabhupada was this tall. So he sat in the seat. He said, why spend so much of Krishna's money? First class. So in economy class, coach, it's at the window seat. The servant right next to him. That was servant's duty. Imagine such a wonderful service. Sit next to me was the secretary. So 3 seats, Prabhupada, servant, secretary. So the plane takes off. You know, those, many of you have been on airplanes flying back and forth to India. What happens? Fasten seatbelt goes off. What does that mean? Time for prasadam. Every time, that was the prasadam bell. Prasadam. Every time. Prabhupada regulated. And he's like prasadam, Srila Prabhupada. 3 times a day would bring Prabhupada prasadam. Breakfast prasadam, lunch, evening, hot milk, sometimes puri sabji, sometimes muri, sometimes paratha, so many things. 9 o'clock, I was eating. And then 10 o'clock at night, I'm giving him masada. And midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, he's translating. No one do. No person to do such things. Prabhupada did it. So being it goes on, so I open Prabhupada's table, I open my table, I put the little brown paper back. I take out the aluminum foil, I open it up, and I put it in Prabhupada. Watching Prabhupada, Krishna, you can become Krishna conscious. Just by watching him eat so nicely, Prabhupada 100 jhana. And you know, you would take a handful, push it in his mouth. Push. And he's eating just from the aluminum foil. Very simple. Very, very simple. No, nothing to drink. He's just eating puffed rice and peanuts. And he's chewing. Prabhupada chew very nice. I always say his mother would be very proud. He chewed his food very nice, you know. To digest, you have to chew. Chew, 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 chew. Yeah. So he would chew very, very nicely. And then he ate half of it. Maybe a little less than half. Because he has two of his servants. He has to feed us. There was nothing else to eat. So you're conscious of everything around you, your surroundings, who you're speaking to, who you're sitting near, everything. Conscious. So he finished about it. Now you can take. So now I slide it over in front of me. Make two halves. I grip the aluminum foil and I give the person next to me, Paramahamsa Swami. He has half, I have half. Srila Prabhupada's Maha Maha Prashadam. So we're not like Srila Prabhupada. He ate very, like, hungry little young men. Very hungry young men. We're eating and eating. And Prabhupada's sitting very comfortably next to us. And you feel comfortable next to him. He didn't make you feel uncomfortable ever. Vaishnava is perfect gentleman. Always. So we're both eating. This is a plane Mexico City to Caracas. Venezuelan Airlines, Air Venezuela, something like that. And there's a stewardess. She's coming from first class section. And she's walking down the aisle. No one else is eating. They haven't served anything yet. We're eating. And she walks down the aisle and she stops right in front of our seats. She stops. And she looks at us, you know, shaved head, tilak. This is 1975. They've never seen things like this. Not in that thing. And she's looking, you know, bald heads, tilak, bright colored cloth, all that saffron cloth, Prabhupada, Paramahamsa. Me, I had white dhoti, quirt. It stops. And she takes her hand and she puts it in my plate, my aluminum foil plate, and grabs a handful of puff bread. No one ever did such a thing. Anyone ever put their hand in your plate? Your wife puts her hand somewhere. She puts her hand in my plate. She says my prasadam's better than hers.
It's true.
But no one does such a thing in a restaurant, in an airport. She just took it, ate it. And then she looks at me. She said, "This is very good. What is it?" I was in shock. And she didn't take it from Paramahamsa's plate. I guess he was sannyasi. She wanted from me. I said, "It's puffed rice." She said, "Well, why are you eating this?" She was curious and she was very open, very simple. I said, "Well, we're vegetarians, so we have a special diet." And she looked, she said, "Can I get you anything else?" I said, "Prabhupada." He said, "Hot milk." So I said, 3 hot milks. do you want anything else? He said, I can go in the first class. She said, I can get you fruit, cheese, else. I looked at Prabhupada. He said, yes, okay. I said, you can get everyone food, cheese, hot milk. So she went back up the department, there's a department, and when she went up, I looked at Prabhupada. I said, Prabhupada, that was amazing. Prashad. Prabhupada didn't respond to that. I said, that was amazing. He says, women have natural tendency to serve. So he was responding to cheese and fruit like that. But he didn't say anything that she took his Maha Prashadam. Devotees would fight for that at lunch, huh? They would fight, get Prabhupada's remnants. 1975, once one of my godbrothers, I came with Prabhupada's plate. He said, give me the whole plate, I'll give you $100. What did I say? He said, I have to distribute to everyone. Devotee can't be bought. You can't buy devotees. Money's not.
Don't be so cheap.
Yes. Always traveling, no. That was 1975. And I tell that story. It's like do everything. Most amazing story of all the things I said. To me, that was the most amazing thing. He didn't just tell her. He shouted at her. You take that. She was a person, very pious. So I told that story. And I spoke for an hour and a half more. And at the end, this one devotee came up to me. He said, can I tell you a story? Yeah. Even though just like tonight, late at night, I just want to go home, go to bed. I said, yes, Prabhu. He said, I'm Sankirtan devotee. He said, and we would travel around. He said, and went to Mexico, South America, Brazil, the rainforest in Brazil. We go to Harinam, go four-wheel drive. You all know 4x4s now. Most people watch 4x4s, right? One town, village like that. And just you're a devotee? She said, yes. Picture the Prabhupada, bunch of type of pictures, altar, everything is there. He says, well, how did you meet the devotees? No one's ever been here before. She said, I was a stewardess for the airlines. She took Prabhupada's Mahaprasadam with the just by taking Srila Prabhupada's Mahaprasadam. She said, then I saw devotees, I bought a book, and that was it, finished. But all by the prasadam from the pure devotee. She became a devotee. She's been to Vrindavan since then. I'm still waiting to see her. I hear stories about her. I saw her 50 years ago. Then she was probably my age at the time, 23, 24. So she's still my age at the time. But just by that initial serving the devotees, taking some prasadam from the devotees, she became devotee, became Vaishnava. This is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. The first part was amazing. Second part was more amazing. She became devotee of Prabhupada, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. But Prabhupada said women easier to become Krishna conscious because they have natural tendency to serve. Men, we all have natural tendency to be served, very eager to be served. But Prabhupada said, in this material world, everyone's trying to enjoy it. Not just men, women also try. Women are also male, he said, in the material world. Huh? When he would say those things, he said everything goes both ways. That enjoying spirit, that's masculine. Spirit, prakriti, female. Tendency to serve, that's feminine. But in this world, everyone's trying to be masculine. Everyone's trying to be joyful. But at least you have better chance. They were so happy in there. Mataji's cooking, serving. What were the men doing? Watching. When do I get to eat? No, also very nice service attitude. You all have very nice service attitude. So that was Caracas. Now we have to is Venezuela. Venezuela, South America. There's a temple there. Prabhupada gets there. He sits on the Vyasa side. There's maybe 20, 30 devotees all chanting Hare Krishna. He sees Sri Sri Gurnatai on the altar. There's tears in his eyes. He started to speak. He said, Sri Sri Gurnatai, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they traveled very far to be with you. Prabhupada traveled very far to be with people all over the world. He never took credit. He would always say, just my spiritual master, everything by my spiritual master. And he would also give credit to who? His disciples. He would say, my spiritual master sent you to assist in Lord Chaitanya's movement. Humility of the devotee. I'm not doing anything. He said, I'm just delivering the message like a mailman. Yeah. So then we're in Caracas for a week. One of the lectures, same thing, lectures are in Spanish. This after the lecture, one young lady raises her hand. And Prabhupada asked, yes. Imagine, she said, Prabhupada, she was living in the temple, but I moved out. She said, because the devotees in the temple, they're in Maya. Imagine, she said. Prabhupada said, you show me that place where there's no Maya. I'll go there. All the devotees laughed. And then he said, you see the devotees in the temple are in Maya because you're in Maya. He said, I see everyone is serving very nicely, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. See, that's devotee. Prabhupada would say, everyone's serving according to their capacity. That's how a devotee, and he tries to fan that flame. We know Japatakumar, he's very expert, bringing people up, just little spark, fanning that spark. Everyone gets an opportunity, everyone gets encouraged. Krishna consciousness. So that was Caracas. Then he goes to Miami, just for 2 days. In Miami, Sri Gurnatai is there. Everywhere Prabhupada's going, he sees hundreds of devotees. He sees Sri Gurnatai on it. Every place he's going, he's getting choked up. He's going into ecstasy. Because it's 1975. He's worked for 10 years. And he sees there's devotees all over the world. His mission was everywhere people are chanting Hare Krishna. That's the way I saw it. That it was almost like he breathed, like it happened. He did it. Yeah? You think I did nothing. Oh, Lord Chaitanya, all the holy name, all my spirituals, all my disciples. But he can see that it happened. And he became overwhelmed. The temple he went to, he became overwhelmed. It was Miami. And he said to them, you're worshiping Gurnatai, she'll have Radha peace. He said, but if you have Radha Krishna, can't make any offense. No offense. He said, Gurnatai is so merciful, even you make offense unintentionally, you make some offense. He said, they don't mind, they forgive you. But Radha Krishna, very serious. He said, but even Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda there, he said already Radha Krishna. And then from there he went to Atlanta, Georgia, March 1975. It's a very historic place he went to. We were there just this month. And he goes there and he tie on the altar from the very same casting of the Miami deities, big, tall, brass deities, beautiful deities.
Melbourne.
Same deities in Melbourne, Australia, he installed. Hello.
It's actually. Oh, sorry.
When he sees the devotees like this, temple room is about this big, little bigger, packed, hundreds of devotees. They're looking in the doorway, they're all standing, sitting on the floor. And Prabhupada looks at him, he said, so, we've been traveling, we've been to Hawaii, to Mexico City. And he looked at me. I said, Miami. He said, Miami. He said, and now we're here. He said, and I think your temple is the best. All the devotees, Haribo, they were so happy. And then again, he spoke to the Sri Gurnatai on the altar. And he said, first time we heard these words from him, he said, Parama Karuna, Ahupleja. He said, these two lords, looking at Bornatai on the altar. He installed. He said, these two lords, they're very merciful, distributing love of Godhead, he said, without any qualification. He said, Krishna is also merciful, but he requires surrender. And then his voice started to get choked up. He said, but Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, freely distributing, he said, they're so kind. And then he couldn't speak anymore. And he just closed his eyes. And everywhere got quiet. Closed his eyes and just went into ecstasy. When Prabhupada would go into ecstasy, everyone would feel some ecstatic symptoms. Not like Prabhupada. I don't know any. Everyone, no one, you wouldn't even hear someone chanting on their beads. Wouldn't hear anything. And then after maybe it was 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 5 minutes, who knows? And he opened his eyes. What did he say? Chant Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. So this was Srila Prabhupada. I see I got kind of off to a late start. I want to leave some time. First, we have to go back to the manor and everything, and tomorrow starts all over again. But I want to leave some time for any questions. You can, if anyone has any questions or comments. Hare Krishna. Jai.
Thank you very much, bro.
Hare Krishna.
The past times of the Prabhupada. One thing is, like, I think you are the one son of Krishna Prabhupada who touched Srila Prabhupada more than any other disciples, I guess.
Hare Krishna.
And at that time when Srila Prabhupada was establishing like the movement, and most of them were like the teens or youth.
Yes. Well, 19, when I joined 19 years old.
18. So teens and youth.
Yes.
So I think now the new generation also need to pick up with because we have so many teens and youth as well.
Yes.
So what message would you for this youth? How we can build this?
How can you please Srila Prabhupada the most? He would be asked that question. He gave a variety of answers. But it's not a one answer fits all. Everyone individual. Everyone's an individual. Once a book distributor asked that question. And the boy assumed Prabhupada would say, you distribute my books. And Prabhupada looked at him, he said, you develop your love of Krishna. Another person asked him, it was an Indian man in Juhu, middle-aged Indian man. And he said, Prabhupada, please give me your blessings. You know, when you travel, everyone wants blessings. They think I have blessings to give. I have no blessings to give. I don't give any blessings. So the man, Prabhupada looked at him, he said, you want my blessings? Yes. Yes, Swamiji, I want your blessings. Prabhupada said, you want my blessings? He said, yes. He said, you take my headache. I'll give you blessings. You take my headache. What does that mean? What's the headache? The devotee, pure devotee, he wants to see the whole world Krishna conscious. Prabhupada say you want blessings, blessings are there, just like the sunshine is there. But we're standing in the clouds. The blessings are to go into the sunshine. Where's the sunshine? Follow the orders of the spiritual master. I say, all of you, how are you here? You know why you're here? Because 50 years ago, 40 years ago, my godbrothers and godsisters were going out on Harinam every day, all day and night, and distributing Prabhupada's books all day and night in the airports, in the city centers, everywhere. This was what Prabhupada did. This was Prabhupada's mission, preaching. Do you want blessings? You want to know what to do? All you have to do is you chant Hare Krishna, and you tell everyone you meet to chant Hare Krishna. That's our business. That's the business of ISKCON. And everyone you meet, you tell them about Krishna. And then you get lots of blessings. It was the same back then, it's the same now. 100 years, it'll be the same. That's what Lord Chaitanya did 500 years ago. What was the process 500 years ago? Went out into the streets, he chanted Hare Krishna with the devotees. Purely chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada, 500 years later, sat under a tree in the park. He chanted Hare Krishna. Nothing changed. Could have said, well, that was 500 years ago. Lord Chaitanya did it. You know what Prabhupada said? Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He went out there with Mridanga, coal, and cartels and chanted. He said, so that's what we do. Very simple, not difficult. And you do that, gradually other people come. Indians, very simple. You just tell them we're having a program, we'll have prashadam. All come. That's all you got to do. Tell them we're having some dal, rice, chapatis, paratha, you know, those idli, all come and eat it. You can't say that to the Westerners. They don't even know what you're talking about. They have to hear the sound vibration. They have to hear again and again and again. I saw the devotees chanting Hare Krishna. I said, what are you doing? We're chanting the names of God. I said, who's God? Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. I wanted to know who God was. They told me just like that. And they told me where he lived. They told me his mother's name, his father's name, his friend's name, his girlfriend's name, everything they told me about God. The first deities I saw were Jagannath, Subhadra, and Baladeva. This high. They're in New Vrindavan today. Same deities, this big they are. They said, this is God. I said, okay. I had no doubts. But this is what you do. Huh? Somehow or other, you try to give Krishna to others. You could do it by cooking in the kitchen. You could do it by making beautiful clothes for the deities. So when people see the deities, they think beautiful. Because all they have to do is think they're very beautiful. They make progress in Krishna consciousness. Or you can go out, chant Hare Krishna. You can distribute Prabhupada's books. He said that's the best way. They just touch a book. They make progress. If they open it and read something, he said they make so much progress. So this is always, it doesn't change. You know, it didn't change because 50 years have gone by. Prabhupada said, someone said, well, 50 years have gone by, 500 years have gone by. India, different than New York City. We have skyscrapers. Prabhupada said, what's the difference? Birth, old age, disease, and death. Always the same. All these other things, doesn't matter. The real business is birth, old age, disease, and death. And you have to try to get people to understand that. You're not this body. You have to get them to understand that. But they can't even understand that unless they take lots of prasadam and chant Hare Krishna. Then gradually they can understand. So that's our business. The family business is, Vaisheshika wrote that book, right? The family business. This is our family business. We're all one big family. From everywhere, all over the world, we're all part of the same family. Whose family? Krishna's family. Srila Prabhupada's family. What does he say? ISKCON is my body. We're all part of Prabhupada's family. So we have to do his business. And the more you do that, the more you make progress, everyone else makes progress. Material world, you give somebody, you have 4 rupees, you give 100 people a lack of rupees. What do you have left? Nothing. In the spiritual world, you have Krishna. You give Krishna to 100 people. What do you have? 100 times more Krishna. That's spiritual asset. Our spiritual bank account. Whatever you do, the more you serve, the more your bank balance goes up. Up. Any other question? We were going to quit here, but we'll ask one or two more questions. We'll extend ourselves to a very, very wonderful group. I'm very happy to be here this one time. Next year, we'll make more arrangements.
Yes, recently you celebrated your 80th birthday. 74.
No. Chastising you. That was done. Yeah, that was their mistake. I wish I was 80 years old because then I would be intelligent now, but I still have 6 more years to get to that stage. Do I look 80 years old? Yes,
It would be good to hear what the Prabhupada said to you when.
that story.
Master, yeah.
You want to hear that? That happened right here at Bhakti Manor. 1973. I was 22 years old. 1970, 53 years ago. I had already been with Prabhupada for a year. Every day I gave a massage. Every day before lunch, massage. Sandalwood oil on the head, mustard oil on the rest of the body. Why sandalwood oil on the head? You have to keep a cool head. Everyone here has cool head, no hot heads, right? No hot head. So I massage his head. He goes like this. You don't move until he goes like this. Then I massage his back. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. His back pushing. Goes like this. So then I go to the side, and the bottle of mustard oil is there. Many sounds in those things. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very interesting. Well, I knocked a bottle of mustard oil over. It's a wood floor, just like this floor, pretty wood floor. And I didn't put the cap on the bottle. He would tell me every time you take some, you put the cap back on. But I didn't. And the bottle fell over. And he grabbed it even before his reflexes were very, very fast. He grabbed it, picked it up, and oil spilled on the floor. And he just looked at me. He said, "You fool. You'll be intelligent when you're 80. Yes. Now it's funny. Then it wasn't funny. Get chastised by Prabhupada. You didn't laugh. You didn't smile. You just wanted to die. You wanted to become 1/10,000th part the tip of a hair so you would disappear. And then he said, "Go get a Katori. Come back." I ran out of the room. I cooked his lunch in a closet next to his room. So I went there, got a little Katori, came back. And Prabhupada's face could be very, very stern looking. It was very hard to read through the Prabhupada's moods. So I come back, offer obeisances, and he says, "The dues I'm doing." He stuck his hand in the oil and started scraping it into the cup. So for the next few minutes, the two of us were just flopping our hand in the scrub of oil, scraping it into the cup. And after a few minutes, all the oil was up. A little shiny on the floor. The oil was up. He said, now massage me with that oil. Imagine the oil that was on the floor. He didn't waste anything. Even the oil that spilled, he said, massage me with that. It was on the floor. And I'm massaging him with it. And little dusty balls in it, and little specks, dust. And he's just sitting there. And I'm massaging his chest, massaging his arms. Go to the other side. Now I'm putting the cap on the bottle in between. Go to the other side, massage his arms. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't look at me. And I don't say, I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. But those words never came out of my mouth. Even when he chastised me, I never just said, I'm so sorry. I'll do better. I'm so sorry. I never said that. And he chastised me more than once. But I'm thinking, what can I say? What can I say so that he's not angry? I don't know if he was angry or wasn't angry, but I'm looking at him and he's not even opening his eyes. And I'm rubbing all over his body. So then I got to his lotus feet. Bottoms on his lotus, soft, cool. And I'm massaging his feet, so it's the end of the massage. And he's still just sitting there, his legs out, and he's just sitting. Doesn't say a word the whole rest of the massage. No one else comes in the room. It's like big rain clouds sent by Lord Indra up above. That's what I saw. And I said, Prabhupada. He opened his eyes. He went, I said, thank you. I thought it would take a lot longer for me to become intelligent. And he started laughing and laughing and laughing. And tears coming out of his eyes and his whole body shaking. Laughing and laughing. And he said, very good. He said, when we were young, when we were children, if somebody did something foolish, we would say that. You'll be intelligent when you're 80. He said, and I've used it on you. And that was it. He laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. I was 22. I'm 74 years old. I have 6 more years. I'm not 80 yet. If I was 80, I'm going to be intelligent. Because the words of the pure devotee, they have to come true. That's my reasoning. Krishna says, my devotee has said, therefore it will happen. Prabhupada's Krishna's pure devotee. So I don't know what's going to happen over the next 6 years or so, whether it's going to be gradually, or all of a sudden I turn 80 and but if you're all around and I'm around, we'll come back here and you can see. Thank you.
Very enthusiastic group.
I've never seen such We've been to like, I don't know how many temples, 20 different temples in the last 2 months.
They're the second enthusiastic temple after Perth.
Yeah, Perth was very enthusiastic with the
Yeah.
devotees. And where were they from?
Gujaratis.
Gujarat. Anyway, I think we'll stop here because I'm hoping some of you, if you want this book, I can sign. And Boogie will make arrangements. He's able to take like whatever card thing. Cash is always welcome. And you can give donation £20 if you can give donation of £20 and help us in our preaching mission. And I think we have a lot of books, like over 30 books.
Buy it as a gift for your friends.
And
And a
cannot be
gift,
sufficient.
especially read it to your children. This is the best upbringing in Krishna consciousness you can give because you're putting the true seed of bhakti in their minds and in their hearts.
And I want to tell you all, I really, really appreciate. I'm not just saying it, you're the most enthusiastic group of devotees that I've come across in a very long time. And I think Mataji has a cake here.
We want to celebrate your birthday. 80th birthday.
80th birthday.
This is not your 80th birthday yet.
This 74. So you will pray for us?
Yes.
I'll tell a few and then we can. I'll tell a few. And then we can
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please take your seats. 1 minute, one minute, Ravi, we are going to sing a song for you. Dear devotees, kindly take your seats. We are very, very grateful to His Grace, Sri Prabhu, and also Mataji for coming here, giving a valuable association. As we all know, Prabhu has been serving Srila Prabhupada personally for many, 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 many years. What a fortune, what a blessing. Even the sadhu sangha, sarva shastra, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi. We all are so blessed that we got today Prabhu's association. We are praying and receiving blessings from Prabhu to bless us that we can also develop at least some 1% of that love and attachment what he has got Srila Prabhupada, and we can please Srila Prabhupada in following his instructions. And as Prabhu mentioned, this book is a very beautiful book. I have read it many times. Prabhu, can you just give me one quote? This is such a lovely book. I have read it many times. This is a really, really amazing, very inspiring book. It is like a window through which we can see Srila Prabhupada's transcendental qualities, his compassion for all the living entities, some of Srila Prabhupada's likes and dislikes, and so many wonderful things are in this book. Definitely it will increase our attachment to Srila Prabhupada. And as Mataji mentioned, children can be, read the stories, the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. So from young age, they are developing love for Srila Prabhupada, love for a pure devotee. That's the right way of bringing our children. So it's really amazing. We request each and every one of you, please kindly read this book. It is a blessing for us. Getting from Prabhu, from his hands. So please take this book. Before that, we are so fortunate again to celebrate Prabhu's birthday. It was last week. Yes. So we all will sing for Prabhu. And then also will be a plate will be going around, so you can put some donations. So that will be very nice. They can use in their service.
And also, we have here, this is a little something you all get for your head. A birthday present to all of you. Here's your Srila Prabhupada slippers. 50 years ago. You weren't even a Japan Airlines flight, so I kept them afterwards. So everyone come on this side, we'll arrange on this side, because I'll cut the cake on the side, and then anyone wants to talk outside, but the slippers will be like this. So
Then come around.
we'll be doing that. So this is a little something I can give you. Okay. All right, Srila Prabhupada. You're very, very much. So I would take it like this.
It's way to the Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna. Request, you can feed Mataji.
Nah. I got it. Pujari clean. But then I have to wash my hands.
Oh.
I promise. Yes, I can, without you touching anything here. It's okay.
No, we will bring us food.
I said you.
Boss.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, very
You,
wonderful.
you definitely know how to ask Prabhupada for mercy by serving his devotee.
So for the book, petition and it is a blessing.
Mataji, let's take the cake out,
Yes.
bring the wet tissue for Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Then we can start.
then we can, and then Prabhu, so if you're coming with the cash, come to me.
Yeah.
It's with the card, Mataji, please track
Yes.
how many books do we have?
I think 30.
Make sure, count. Yes, count.
How much?
And then on this side, you come for the Prabhupada blessing. But I tell you one thing, Mataji. You can come, get Prabhupada slippers, that's 1 point. But if you buy a book and get Prabhupada slippers, that's 10 points.
This is just only.
No touching the feet.
Yes.
Don't touch my feet, don't touch my feet.
Okay.
I wish that you all these, please stay a little away and then you can offer your benefits. And please do not speak. And then also for everyone to come in a line, keep forward line. If you have to not be straight away, get the I want to. And for those who don't have the pass, then you will argue. And you're taking the cards.
If you got it, then
One by one, please. And once you're done, please. Double signing and giving you. You are thinking yes. I think the light.
just say
Once you please go back so you can get the shadow.
You pay?
Either in cash or card here. Oh, वही पे। माता जी ये इसका मोबाइल आपको
Mataji, any service, Mataji? Any service?
Okay, water will come to, they will take the. Okay.
Rice तो है और